Writers. Today we're going to dive into how to break through marketing resistance. So pull up a chair, grab a glass of water, get cozy, and this is going to be about shifting. I'm going to share some information for your mind, but by and large, this is going to be about shifting for your being. And I want to start with a funny little Freudian slip because I don't believe in accidents in words. I believe that when we mistype something, we missay something, there's a wisdom in it. So I was going to write a reminder for this talk. And instead of writing breakthrough marketing resistance, I ended up writing breathe through marketing resistance. And that's the first reframe we'll start with. Because when we're in a place of resistance about anything, and some of you commented saying, I don't feel marketing resistance, but I feel writing resistance. When we're in resistance about anything, marketing, writing, doing that next task that we know will make us more visible, and we come up against what feels like a hard stop, we often feel the way to get through it is to push, to keep pushing. Now, sometimes in order to up level, we do need that surge of energy, almost like if you're going to jump across something and you need to take that run, you need to back up and take that run and get that momentum, get that energy, get yourself ramped up. Sometimes that is how we break through resistance. But sometimes the way through resistance is by becoming more gentle, is by becoming less rigid and flowing. So, if the idea of breaking through resistance brings up more resistance for you, that's an invitation instead to breathe through resistance. And a great image to have in mind is when you are receiving a massage and tensing up in response to the discomfort makes more discomfort. And, as long as you're communicating effectively with the person who's delivering the massage and letting them know your edge and when something is too painful. But as long as that's happening, the way to be in that situation that is the most helpful is to breathe through it and release. So we'll start today by taking some deep breaths together. If you're watching live and want to say hello, I'd love to hear from you. If you've got some questions that you want to bring into the mix, by all means, yeah, add them into the comments. So I'm just going to invite you to sit comfortably wherever you are. Go ahead and close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Please don't if you're driving. And just allow yourself to be fully held by whatever you're sitting in and feel your spine easily and effortlessly elongate. We'll take 3 deep breaths together, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. And exhale. Breathing in through the nose. Feeling that energy come up from Mama Earth. Feel that life force. And as you exhale, allowing it to permeate every cell of your body. And one more really deep inhale. And out with a sigh. Feeling your jaw relax. Just notice how it feels in your body after taking 3 really deep breaths like that. Do you feel more present? Do you feel a greater capability to now move through the resistance that's coming up simply by being grounded in your body? Knowing you can tap into the energies all around us. We're electrical beings. We live on an electrical planet. And grounding is always going to be powerful. So just go ahead and gently flutter open your eyes, look somewhere besides your screen for a moment, orienting in your space. Especially good for those of us who are marvelously sensitive, reminding yourself, my environment is safe. That's what we do when we orient. So, how does that feel? Maybe that's the first tool in your toolbox when you encounter some resistance, to just pause and breathe. All right. Now I'm going to lead us through some questions to get this shift going. And actually, before I dive into that, I'm going to pull a card for us from the Wise Rider Within Oracle deck. So you can have in mind or in your heart a question around your marketing, around marketing resistance, around anything in your writing. Present. What do you want more clarity around? What would you like some answers around? What do you want some support with? And if you don't have a particular question, you can always just say, I'm open to whatever wisdom wants to come to me, for me, through me. What's the nugget that will support me right now? What's the wisdom I need to be reminded of right now? You can always ask that. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm stopping my shuffle right there because this card is speaking to me. Ooh, yeah. Oh, baby. Okay, I love it. So we got card 30. Remind me of my wins. Remind me of my wins. Now, this is a powerful card when we are talking about marketing. It is easy in anything in our go, 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 do, do, do culture to focus on what remains. What have I not completed? To go to bed at the end of the day with that question in our hearts and in our minds. And yet it is very easy to shift that paradigm and to go to bed at night, to go through your day asking, what are my wins? And training your mind to be your ally, to support you, and to look out for those wins. So as we think about breaking free, breaking through, breathing through marketing resistance, this is the question to return to. What are my wins? So the first question we'll ask in our shift is, am I tracking my wins? Because if I'm not tracking my wins, marketing feels very fruitless. It feels very fruitless because we focus only on what is that ultimate result. Is there a new customer? Is there a new client coming in? And if that's the only thing I'm focused on, then it's not going to be a win every day. When you look at conversion rates for a warm audience, so this means how many people would buy something when you're reaching out to not just everybody on the interwebs, but a group of self-selected people. So this may be on your email list, for example. Do you know what a good conversion rate is? Do you know what a conversion rate is that people would smack you on the back for and say, like, you're doing awesome? It is 1%. It is 1%. So if the only way we're tracking our wins in marketing is by looking at, did I make the sale? We are going to be disappointed 99% of the time. On the other hand, if we're focused on what are my wins, if we're putting this prayer out to source, asking, remind me of my wins. I just had that moment where I'm checking if my microphone is actually on. If we're in that space, then we have success all around us. So let me give you some examples. Am I staying in a place of passionate detachment? That's a win for me. Am I using my tools to bring my mind back from spinning into but what if, but what if, but what if? That's a win. Am I showing up in the way that I intended to? That might be the number of times I intended to, that might be with the amount of content I intended to create for, a launch or in marketing generally. It might be just with the vibe, with the vibration you want to have. So Shift out of, oh God, I'm rubbish at this because I'm not getting sales, to, oh, the journey to getting sales involves my energy, my showing up, my being in the vibration that I want. When I work with clients, I invite them to map out for themselves what a successful launch looks like. That has nothing to do with the outcomes that are outside of their control. Nothing to do with how many people sign up, how many dollars came in, because that is out of your control. And the example I gave to a client just today was like, what if in the middle of your launch we had a solar flare and we lost, like the world lost internet for a week and a half? Whoa, right? Like that would really impact what it seemed like was possible or what outcome you would expect from your launch, because now all of a sudden your launch has gone from a month and a half to this contracted time and everybody's kind of panicking, right? So that's an extreme example, but maybe it's less extreme. Maybe it's you get a really bad head cold, or your basement floods and like you have to attend to something else in your life besides marketing, besides creating content. Somebody you care for gets ill. So if we take away the outcomes that we have no control over as our metrics of success, and instead we ask, what would it mean for me to be successful? Like what metrics do I want to put in place? And it's how I'm showing up. It's how often I'm showing up. It's, I had a goal that I wanted to share these many pieces of content and I shared them and I'm very proud of myself. Or I wanted to set aside this amount of time every week to follow up and connect with people and personally message them. I wanted to spend time in meditation, or I wanted to be doing my personal spiritual practices every day because I know that keeps me in the energy that invites people in. Those are all under your control, okay? So setting them in the first place, super important, and then remembering to celebrate them as your wins, also really important, okay? So it's this first question to ask. Am I celebrating my wins? Am I creating metrics of success around marketing that are going to encourage me to keep going? Think about this. If you were helping a small child to do a task that felt challenging for them, and let's say riding a bike, and you said, like internally, maybe you didn't say this to the child, but like your approach to it was, I am only going to give words of encouragement and praise and high fives when that child is able to completely balance on the bike and ride it by herself with no training wheels. I wonder if that child would ever get to that point, because she wouldn't be getting encouraged every time she fell off but got back on. She wouldn't be getting encouraged, she wouldn't be getting those high fives when she like took off the training wheels, but she didn't have the balance yet. So think about how you would create encouragement and create motivation for somebody else. And it's always good to think of a child because we tend to be our most empathic selves with little ones. So like think of your marketing that way. Where am I giving myself this encouragement along the line so that I keep going and feel that I'm working toward breaking through that resistance I have? I'm ultimately I'm going from feeling resistance around this to feeling excitement around it because I'm being encouraged, I'm motivating, I'm accomplishing small goals along the way to the bigger goal. And I know I'm doing what's in my power and not putting too much stake in what's out of my power. Curious to hear how this first question sits with you. So now let's ask another question. Where in my marketing am I taking on structures or strategies that feel heavy or constraining? Where in my marketing am I taking on somebody else's idea of what I should do, what I need to do, of the right way to do it? Where in my marketing am I allowing my intuition to be hijacked by something somebody else said? Maybe they said it with the best of intentions. Maybe it is somebody who cares deeply about you and your success. Maybe it is a business mentor or coach who has used that strategy successfully themselves and whose other clients have also used that strategy successfully. So we're not talking about the voices that are leading you astray for some nefarious reason, or with a nefarious purpose, but we're asking you to run everything, even this, especially this. We're asking you to run everything through your intuition. Your marketing is your energy inviting people into your world. And if you are a transformational coach, when you work with people, it is an intimate experience. It is their energy and your energy working so closely together. So your marketing is about sharing that energy, shining that light at that particular frequency so that people can recognize, oh yeah, that's the path for me. Like that's where I slide in so easily and it just feels right. Because there are so many paths to success. There are so many paths to success. And there is somebody out there whose energy you resonate with. And you go, yeah, that's it. Okay. So you turn it around. You, in your own marketing, if you are feeling constrained, if you're feeling like marketing is a weight that's on you because you are following a strategy or a set of rules that don't light you up, how will you shine your energy through? You might still be able to do it, but man, it's going to be so much more challenging. It's like seeing through glasses where the lenses are dirty, right? Let's just clean the lenses. Let's just clean the lenses so that light can come through. So this is the next question. Where am I allowing myself to be constrained, held back, squashed by strategies that aren't for me? Now, I don't encourage you to throw things out in an attitude of F you, right? Because what that often leads us to do is declutter in ways we regret, right? Like get into that super peak energy of, oh, I'm doing it my way, and then you take the hockey stick, the magic clearing stick, and you wipe everything off and you're like, oh, I broke my favorite coffee mug that way. So be discerning. It's not about making other people wrong. If somebody's giving you advice or a strategy and you don't want to use it, if you have the energy of like, oh, I'm not using this, guess what? You're still energetically linked to that thing. So we don't want that for you. We want you to just be able to like, oh, I don't need this anymore. Oh, this is empty. Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. I'm just going to set it down. Just going to gently set it down. Okay. So look for those things to gently set down. All right. I'm just going to tune in and let's see what the next question is. Oh, okay. Came through loud and clear. Am I sharing my truth? Am I sharing what's in my heart? This is the next question to ask in marketing resistance. So, what we just talked about was maybe the container or the process that I'm using to share isn't feeling aligned for me. But what if it is the content that isn't feeling aligned for you? Now, resistance is an absolute godsend. Those of you who have the Wise Rider with an Oracle deck, you may recognize the card who's on the cover. This is the goddess of resistance. And her message is, look, I'm showing up to ask you, are you sure? I'm showing up to kind of poke you a little bit so that you go, yes, I'm definitely sure this is what I want or this is what I don't want. So resistance is this beautiful gift from Source that is a security check. It's like two-step verification that we have to use for everything now, right? It's like, is it really you? And maybe you have to do a CAPTCHA or you have to get a text message. It is two-step authentication. Are you really sharing what you want to be sharing? So if you are feeling marketing resistance, it may be because there is a deeper message you're being called to share that you've been shying away from. And if you've been shying away from it, please release any judgment you might have about that. How could we possibly feel free to be our fully expressed, authentic selves in a world that, in a world with like such effed up archetypal worship? It's like, it's not even coming through coherently, but like our culture places such disconnected, unserving us things at the top of the hierarchy and says this is the thing that's of value. I'll just say it like that, right? The things of spirit, the things of truth, the things of connection keep getting squished farther and farther down, and we're being told those don't have value, those don't have value, those don't have value. And it's only, if you have power over other people, if you have gobs and gobs of money, even if you got it, by ill means, those are the things that we're told are valuable. So of course our souls would be like a little timid before speaking up. But the such, the really fabulous news is that there are so many more people waiting to hear and receptive of your message in your online space than people who would judge you by those old standards. So those standards are there, they're imprinted into our psyches. Of course, they're affecting us, but the people who are actually around you and listening to you are hungry for your truth, for your message, for your magic. There are far more people who are going to be in your audience and be in your world and hear you, who are craving that deeper magic that you have to share. So there's no challenge there, but I understand we've all got this imprinting that's really not helpful at all. So I love that so many people are awakening to that and going like, yeah, no thanks, I'm tossing out this paradigm. Let me know in the comments, like, what's the paradigm you're like happiest to be tossing out? Like, oh yeah, people used to think this and now it's this instead. I'd love to hear. Yeah, what's your favorite, you're decluttering it paradigm? The favorite paradigm that you're decluttering. Does that make sense? The one you're happiest to be getting rid of. Okay, that's what she means. So am I really speaking the message that I feel called to? Now, some of you might get an immediate aha from that and go like, oh, that's totally where my marketing resistance is coming from, because I'm saying the things I think I should say, or I'm saying things that do matter and do make an impact for my audience, but there's this bigger thing I want to be saying. There's this tightness that can come when we have that thing we want to say. Imagine being in conversation with somebody and you really want to tell them something and it feels very important, but you're holding back a little bit. It's hard to actually focus on the conversation. It's hard to really listen to them and be fully present because you're going, oh, but I really need to tell you about this. And for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like you can in that moment. So that's a constraint. That's a resistance. Oh, I have something bigger to say. So for some of you, you may already go like, boom, I know exactly what I want to say. I'm having a lot of the Oracle deck users say that this is how they know, right? They just pull a card and they're like, yep, this is the thing I'm meant to be talking about. Boom, you can just do a single card, or you can do the stability of 3 card spread where it walks you through what's the message. In order to share this message, what do I need to acknowledge or let go of? And then what support can I lean into to share this message? So just a couple of ways you can get that clarity. For others of you, well, I kind of like already got into this topic, but if you already know what you want to say, like, boom, go for it. And then for some of us, it will be like, oh, okay, now I'm open to the idea, the reality that my resistance is coming from the fact that I have got something bigger that wants to come through. But damn, I don't know what that is. This is where you can do some playful exploration. Some of my favorite things: walk and talk. Move through the stagnant energy. Go on a walk in your neighborhood. Walk on a treadmill, whatever. Walk wherever you can and talk to yourself. Oh man, what do I tell people all the time? What are the stories that I share with my clients? What are the things that I feel so passionately about? If I could take out, if I could get like an opportunity to write an op-ed in a major newspaper and have hundreds of thousands, millions of people read, what's the thing I would want to share with them? Like, what do I wish my people knew? What would I love to tell them? What's that loving truth bomb? Talk it out. Great for generating those ideas from that place of feeling like, yeah, I'm excited and I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about, not what I think I should talk about. Another super simple one, lie down in corpse pose, final resting pose, Shavasana. Surrender. Surrender and ask, what message wants to come through me? What does my audience need to hear? Find the language that feels empowering for you. For some of us going, what language does my audience need to hear? Might go like, oh God, now I feel obligated. Oh my God, they need to hear it. I got to tell them. I got to know the right answer. If that's how that feels for you, release that one. Just flush it down the toilet. Maybe it's the question, what message wants to come through me? Maybe that feels much more exciting. Maybe it's, what's in my heart? Maybe, oh, this is such a good one. Maybe it's, what do I wish I would have known when I was going through what my audience is going through? What wisdom do I wish somebody would have shared with me? What loving encouragement do I wish had been available for me? So there's so many different roads to access. As soon as we come back into that space of going, it's safe for me to share my message. Okay, and then I didn't even have to ask. The last question is coming through so loud and clear, and it is, am I making it safe for myself to share? There is inner support required. When you see somebody who is killing it in their marketing, when you, and by the way, this is interesting to bring us back to the very first point, because when we look at people and we're like, oh, damn, she's killing it in her marketing, we don't generally know what kind of sales that person is generating. Our assessment that she's killing it comes from how her energy is showing up. So isn't that interesting? We judge we like evaluate other people's success and launches based on how they're showing up and the insights they're sharing and the way they're connecting with people and the way they're creating like an energetic bubble in their space that's inviting people in. But for ourselves, we don't usually take that as evidence of success. We only look the successes like, did I make the sale? Did I book the call? So just interesting to note that double standard we might have. So maybe we get to have the same standard for us, which is about the energetics, which we talked about first. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes for that person who's killing it. That person is tapping into what they need at an individual soul level to feel safe and secure. Now, what that is going to be different for all of us. I am a marvelously sensitive person. My system is very high strung. My startle rate is like hair trigger. If I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, if my husband walks into the room and, taps me on the shoulder, it's like, oh my God, my heart rate stays elevated. My adrenaline is flowing. So I know I need a lot of support to feel grounded, to feel rooted, to talk with my root chakra and say, hey, I got you, right? So learn yourself, learn your system, learn what energizes you, what is required for you to feel safe to speak your truth. Now, I've given you a couple of examples from my life. I can't tell you what that is. If you want to work with me, I'm happy to explore that with you and give you insights and help you see things, help you see the patterns and reflect things back to you. But you are the one who knows this. You are the one who knows. And maybe you want to talk with other people in your world who you think have a similar system to yours and go like, how do you deal with this? And like, what are your secrets and strategies? I worked with a spiritual mentor who specifically gave me these rituals and practices to build radiance. She calls them radiance rituals, which I absolutely love. So absolutely, you don't have to do it yourself. You can be supported with this. But ultimately, trust your intuition on what is it I need to feel safe in order to speak. And some people may go like, oh, I just like, that's kind of a blip. Totally cool. If you are a highly sensitive person, if you feel that if you're an empath, if you feel like your energy is easily kind of sucked away from you by whatever's going on around you in your environment, if just being online kind of drains your energy, this happens a lot for introverts, really ask this question at the base of your marketing. How am I supporting myself to feel safe, to show up, be seen, and speak what's in my heart? A lot of S's in there. All right, so I'm gonna end there because we got a lot of questions. And the next piece of the puzzle is for you to feel into these questions, to tap into what answers come for you, and then to integrate and begin to ask, how do I want to implement? What are the action steps I want to take? And you don't have to address all of these at once. Simply go for the one where you felt the biggest response. Where did you get chills? Where did you have an aha moment? Where did you get goosebumps? Where did you get a pit in the middle of your stomach going, oh God, that's scary? Lean into just one thing. Trust yourself. Whatever you are called to lean into, it is the right thing. You have all the time you want to master these areas of marketing. You have all the time you want. I'll leave you with this one thought. I'll revisit this one thought. Resistance is not a bad thing in the general sense of the world. It does not have an inherent badness to it. We don't like resistance when we're marketing, when we have a business that we know changes people's lives and we want to invite more people into that, and we go to do that, we go to do those marketing activities and we feel like we're hitting a wall. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. And it doesn't support us in our mission to amplify our heart message. So it's an inconvenience, but it is not a moral failing. It is not objectively bad. It is like a flat tire on the way to somewhere where we want to go. And then you assess and you're like, okay, well, maybe I can just patch it. Maybe I need to call the tow truck. Maybe I just need to change it, put on the spare. Maybe I need to buy a new set of tires. But that's all it is. It's a flat tire on the way to where we're going. And sometimes a flat tire is an intervention from the universe saying, I want you to slow down a little bit because I think you're headed in a direction that isn't truly where your heart wants to go. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts, reading your comments. I'll drop a link below if you're interested in getting the Wise Rider with an Oracle deck and using this as a way to inspire yourself when it comes to marketing, to find ideas that light you up, to work through, okay, what is it that is, why is this resistance coming up for me? Then I'll drop a link to that. And if you're like, finding out what works for me, what supports me to write, what those topics are that light me up, would light up my audience, and how I can flesh them out, if all of that is of interest, just send me a private message. I'm not taking on new clients right this moment, but I will be shortly. So hit me up, let me know if that's of interest. Oh, Danny, I'm so glad you got to tune in while driving. Perfect. Great multitasking. I love it. Okay, take good care. Love yourselves. Drink a lot of water. Happy writing.